Right then guys, today as you can see I'm doing another video on this. I've had quite a lot of people asking me about it. It runs on 2 volts DC, so I've got it running off my power supply over there, showing 1.4 volts. I set it to 2, so that's obviously the power it's using. It's made it drop, it's got a bit of voltage drop, and everyone's been wanting to know how many volts it gives out, so I've hooked up to my crappy multimeter. And I've had some quite interesting results, so I'm going to stick it in the tripod, and as you can see it's on 0.1 of a volt. I will try and get both in there actually if I can, a bit closer. Now, bearing in mind this is extremely old, so it can be a bit temperamental, and sometimes the thingy stops going, so I have to restart it. So at the moment there's a scale down the side. I'm at 25 centimeters, and I shall tell you how many centimeters I'm at as I get down there. So when I get to 1 volt, right, 1.3 of a volt, right, and it's stopped oscillating, so just have to give it a bit of a tap. Right, so on half a volt we're at 17 centimeters so far, and we're at 1 volt, just about 1 volt, at 15 centimeters, 14 centimeters, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, still only at 12 volts. Now I am going to touch this because I've touched it before, and at 12 volts, surprisingly enough, it gives off one hell of a shock. That is actually hard for me to hold. And yes, me and my mates do play when we've had a bit of a drink or whatever. We do play the game of who can get closest down there. And I managed to get to 3, and it was getting pretty painful at 3. I have to be truthful, and my fingers were clamped, like I literally couldn't get them off. I had to turn off my PSU. So anyway, let's keep going down. So at 9 centimeters, 8 centimeters, and notice it's at nearly 20 volts there. 7 centimeters, 25 volts. 6 centimeters, 30 volts. 5 centimeters, 40 volts. 4 centimeters. Wondering where I'm getting this reading from, it's still here, so we're 4 centimeters down the scale. We're on 42 volts, 43 volts. This is all coming from there. Now if I disconnect this especially, I can show you actually with a neon I have. It's lighting the neon, and I kid you not, I will touch it now. Fucking hell, yeah, that really hurts. Okay, I know there's not too much power going through it. It's safe for me to do it, and I can get lower than that, but normally I'd be holding on to it, not just sort of hovering. It actually hurts more to hover than it does just to hold it, and because it sort of spikes across to you, as opposed to constantly being on there. So put the voltmeter back on. There's a bit of a spark when I put that on there. Right, so we're at 40 volts, 42 volts, down to 3 centimeters, 46 volts, 2 centimeters, 51 volts. Oh, 1 centimeter, 52, 53, and all the way in we're at 53, 56. It's not oscillating so well at the moment, as you can probably see, but it's got a little fine-tune adjustment here, and if I play about with it, it changes it a bit. But if I was to now try and grab hold of that, it would hurt like hell. But it is only giving out 52 volts. I don't know if I'll be able to show you with a piece of wire or something, but if I zoom right in on these pins, you should hopefully, if it'll focus. Yeah, go on, you're going to focus for me. No, that's why you shouldn't use manual. No, that's why you shouldn't use autofocus. Right, you should probably be able to see. Just a tiny little spark there. Yeah, you can see it. And that is all from 2 volts. So, I'm going to turn that off. I hope that answers a few of your questions. It doesn't kick out thousands of volts, like when you touch it you expect it to. When you touch it, if you actually feel that for yourself, it feels like it should be kicking out thousands and thousands and thousands of volts, because it really does hurt. I'm sure most of you are well aware on how this all works. It's an induction coil. This part here that slides up and down. Got your primary and your secondary. And here is 2. Well, actually it's 1 magnet, and this thing is a vibrating like reed. Got a contact here and a contact there, and that's the knob that you can tune it with, and then once you've got it in tune you tighten that bit to it. But yeah, a lot of people call these like a kicking coil. They run the same kind of way that my vintage medical thing worked, and if you give me a few minutes, these probably won't all be uploaded today because my internet's appalling. I'm going to show you that next, because I've had people wanting to see that as well. So I shall show you that. I've actually got 2 of them, and one of them I'm going to be selling because I need some money, and basically I need to do a video on it before I sell it, because I promised I would do a video on it. So yeah, there'll be another video coming soon of the violet wand, but I will do the different one to the one that you've already seen. So thanks for watching guys, and we shall speak again soon.